Hussbus bus stop.
Hello and welcome to the second edition of the Hussbus Bus Stop. My name is Nick Hussey and I'm a loan advisor at the Hussey Team LLC. Today I'm coming to you today with a question we get all the time from clients. What should I be doing when preparing to buy a home and get approved for a mortgage? So I came up with a list of 5 do's, what you should be doing, and 5 don'ts, what you shouldn't be doing when preparing to buy a home and get approved for a mortgage. Let's jump in. Number 1 on our do list is to pay your bills on time and to continue to monitor your credit. Now this is a pretty obvious one and a rule you should be following regardless if you're buying a house or not. But it's very important when you're getting approved for a mortgage. Credit is huge. Your credit score can affect your interest rate and even just qualifying for a mortgage in general. So you want to make sure you're paying everything on time and checking on your credit to see where you're at. Number 2 on our do list is to make yourself available and be prepared to provide tons of personal financial information. Mortgages are very fast paced, so you need to be available and on a click of a button ready to go because it's going to be flying quick. And it gets pretty invasive too. But think about it this way. The lender is giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars for a house, so they need to check everything to make sure you're good so that you're able to pay it back. So there's going to be a lot of documentation and it's going to move quick, so be ready. Number 3 on our do list is to set aside some time to come up with a comfortable budget that you're willing to pay monthly and out of pocket for the whole transaction. Now this is an important one to us specifically because we take your budget numbers and that's what we base everything on. So we keep it simple, try and think what you want to afford for a mortgage per month and how much you can spend on everything and give it to us, and that will move on to our next step here is to get pre-qualified with a licensed loan professional, preferably the Hussey Team. We will use that information from your budget numbers to structure your pre-qualification game plan for you. Now what it means to be pre-qualified is we will look at everything, your financial history, your employment information, everything about you, and then give you a number. Hey, you're approved for this purchase price. You're approved for this loan amount. So then you can start looking at houses with more confidence. The last and number 5 on our do list is to connect with a licensed real estate agent and someone you trust too. Realtors are huge in helping you find the right home, and they will also be big with a lot of the contract work and a lot of the legal mumbo jumbo. So you want to make sure you have someone you trust on your team. We have so many connections to realtors all around PA, so if you need any, hit us up. We can set you up with someone. Now to move to our don't list. This is what you do not want to do when preparing to buy a home or get approved for a mortgage. Number 1 on our don't list, do not apply for new credit or close any credit accounts you have until you speak with a credit professional. Now this is a big one. This goes back to our number 1 on paying your bills on time. Credit is huge again. It can affect a lot of things. So before you do anything messing around with it, speak to a credit professional. We will have Sam Parker from mycreditguy.com on a Hussbus bus stop to come in the future, and he's going to go over a lot of good credit tips. So hit up a guy like Sam before you really mess around with anything. Number 2 on our don't list is do not just start looking at houses until you are pre-qualified. You're going to be wasting your time, you're going to be wasting your realtor's time, you're going to be wasting everyone's time. You have no idea what you can afford at this point, so you're just getting your hopes up when you're looking at houses. Make sure you get pre-qualified first and then dive in and start going with all the fun of going on the house tours and whatnot. Number 3 on our don't list, do not make any big changes with your employment until you speak with a loan professional. So this is another big one. Income is calculated differently in the mortgage world. So hourly pay, if you go from hourly to salary or salary to hourly, or then you start making commission now, overtime, we might not be able to use that income. So before you make any big changes with your employment, let us know first so we can make sure you still qualify for where you're at. Number 4 on our don't list, do not make any large or undocumented deposits into your bank account. This is probably the biggest mistake we see. You not want to be throwing huge lump sums of cash into your account that we can't trace. You will not be able to use those assets. Make sure you can source everything, and if you are going to do big deposits, make sure they come from a check or a bank transfer so you can show where it came from. That is huge. The last one on our don't list is do not be afraid to ask questions. Buying a home can be scary. It can be stressful. And what's even worse is you're never taught any of this stuff. You just kind of have to figure it out on your own. use us. We are the professionals. That's where we're here to help you out. Don't be afraid to hit us up with any question is all. No question is stupid. It's all new to you probably if it's your first time buying. So that's why we're here. Help you and make it as smooth as possible. So that's it for our 5 do's and don'ts when preparing to buy a home and getting approved for a mortgage. Looking forward to seeing you guys in weeks to come at the Hussbus bus stop. Keep it classy.
Hussbus bus stop.